Bonjour, everyone. Hi. This is a spiritual roundtable with your host, me, Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to those who are going to be in the live chat. Thank you so much for being with me, and those who will be watching the recorded show. I do appreciate it, especially, on a weekend, and to make the time to be here with me. I do appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to our spiritual conversation today. And that is one of the reasons why I do this live stream. I like being with you guys and being involved in our community here at Star Nations, all around the divination cards that I draw in the morning. And yeah, it's fun. And, to be able to spend time like that is a good thing, right? That's right. Today's Sunday, July 21st. July 21st. Yeah. It's a good day. It's a good day. I have to say happy birthday to one of my nieces, Alexis. Happy birthday out there. It's good to know that you're out there on this planet doing good work, doing good things. And so we all love you here, and so happy birthday. Okay. I don't believe in coincidences. Do you? I don't. I think Spirit has a way of being able to bring in what we need to have when we need it in that divine timing. So just as I was going to start the show, I have a call that came in, and it was from British Columbia. British Columbia. What is that about, right? Considering that the deck of cards that we're using for this month is this one. This is the Spirit of the Wheel meditation cards by Linda Iwashina, and it is illustrated by Jody Bergsma. And these ladies are actually from British Columbia. I told you, there's no coincidences, right? And this deck has been really insightful, don't you think? We've gotten some really some aha moments, both as a community and also individually, while using these cards. And so I just want to, do a shout out there for Linda Iwashina. Thank you so much for creating these cards, and to Jody Bergsma for your illustrations. They have been so appreciative. We appreciate it, grateful for it. And so we continue to use them at least for another few days. I have gotten the nudge to go ahead and change cards. I didn't have time this morning to go through my decks to see who wants to come out and play, but we'll probably be changing them up in the next day or two. I'll get the name over to Stephanie so that she can put out there what we're using, okay? All right, so very interesting, isn't it? I haven't shown the back of the card in a while. This is the back of the deck of cards. And it shows the animals, the power animals that Linda uses for the creation of her medicine wheel. Get my camera to focus. Camera focus. So in the east, there's the eagle, the bald eagle. In the south, she has the wolf, right? And in the west is the bear. And in the north is the white buffalo. And in the center, it doesn't look like an animal. What it looks like is an eye. Yeah. And notice that, oh, you know what that is? Oh my goodness. This is the top of an octahedron. The octahedron is one of the platonic solids. Isn't that something? I just realized that. Don't you love it when the dots connect and you get this? Oh my God, look at that! Yeah, the octahedron. I'm going to have to take a look. It could actually. I don't think it's not a dodecahedron. It's an octahedron, and the octahedron is actually the element of air. but it's also the very first movement, the very first thing that was created by the prime creator, actually. Yeah, very interesting, huh? Yeah. Oh, before we get going too far, I almost forgot. Is that we're going to spread the light, as Stephanie would say, and sprinkle it over to the live stream, over to a friend or to your timeline, or we're inviting you to do that, helping us to get the message is out from Star Nations and to when we have live stream shows. And so I'm gonna like, and I'm gonna share. Even I said the S word. Even if you'd rather not sprinkle, which is okay too, please just do a like or a heart. That would be helpful too. All right, so I'm gonna share it, send it over to my news feed. Okay. Let's see, news feed. There we go. Gotta change it to my news feed. Do it to public. There we go. And there. All right, so just to remind my friends that I'm live streaming, and then asking them to please come out and join us. There we go. And we'll put a little emoticon on there too. There. All right. I want to see. I don't know if Stephanie is in the house. It doesn't look like it. All right. So I'm going to send the live stream over to the closed groups as well. And, oops. There we go. Now we're just going to share it over there. It doesn't take too long. This is going to pause just for a moment here. And we're going to send it over to the closed group for the live stream shows. Hiya, peeps. Space, got to spell. That helps. Spell correctly. Yep, there we go. And then asking them to please join us. Here we go. That'll work. That'll do. There. It's good stuff. So the card draw today, just like every other day that we do the live stream together, the cards, the intention that I set for my spiritual team, and I asked them to please come close, my entire team, and to please show me the energy that's flowing today, that's important for us to know about for our highest good, for our soul growth, and the highest good of all, right? And also to help us to have those insightful aha moments that will help us connect those dots and see the pattern, right? And to be able to use that in our everyday life. So, yay! Wait till you see the cards. You know why? Because we haven't had these cards yet. And so it's like brand new stuff. And I'm going to turn that off so we can get to the cards. There we go. And here we go. I knew I set them down right in front of me practically. I'm going to say hi to a couple people first, okay? Yeah. I'm going to see who's in the house. Rochelle's here. She's sprinkled. Yay, Rochelle. Yay, Rochelle. I'm glad you're here, Rochelle. And Jocelyn's here too. Hi, Jocelyn. Love it when you ladies are in the house. I do too, Pat. I do too. I love these cards. And Rochelle says, I love the drawings. They're really good, aren't they? And Jocelyn said, I love these cards. So very beautiful put together. I know. And I just wanted to make sure that we sent our thank you to the author and to the illustrator today because, like I said, I got the nudge this morning about changing ducks. And I just want to make sure that we make it public, thanking them for doing the creation that they did, because it really did bring a lot of information, didn't it? It really did. I got to do something here. I forgot to turn off my Gmail. Hang on. Otherwise, we're going to be getting all kinds of notifications. Too loud. Too loud. And I was working on stuff, and so I need to turn off a few things. Otherwise, it's going to take too much energy. Okay, there we go. And Julie's here too. Hello, Julie. Good to have you here, lady. Thank you for catching that typo this morning too. I thought I'd taken care of it. And technically I did. This is my Dropbox. That was the problem. Okay, so the first card. Here we go. It's the West. Now, I'm going to try to pronounce this. It's not guaranteed that it's going to be correct, but I'm going to try. Mujekiwis. Muji, maybe? No, Mujekewes. I don't know if that's right. Mujekiwes. And it's the 12th stone in the creation of the medicine wheel. In numerology, that's a 3. That's a creation number. It's also about the ascended masters. Words associated with the card is recuperation, creativity, and dreams. Right? I'll hold this differently. Cooperation, creativity, and dreams. And in the corners, you're going to see it's an effigy bear. It's looks like it's supposed to be like a carving of a bear, effigy bear. And so the author, in her understanding of the medicine wheel, they put bear in the West. Bear. See if I can get that to focus a bit. So we have 2 of them, 2 bear. One's looking basically right at us, and one is looking to the left. Yeah. The bear. I don't know how the indigenous people in the Pacific Northwest, how they relate to bear, and how the kind of medicine that the bear brings to them. But here in Wisconsin and the Ho-Chunk Nation and also the Potawatomi Nation, we see bear as a protector, right? Yeah, bear as a protector, and the peacekeeper is the peacekeeper. There's been times during general council meetings. General council meetings are when the entire tribal nation, members of the nation, come together for a meeting, and they meet with the elected leaders. Okay. And sometimes the items on the agenda are pretty divisive, and people are passionate about their opinions, and arguments break out, and that kind of thing. And within the Ho-Chunk Nation, anyway, I know that when it gets too much, someone, usually an elder, will call on the Bear Clan to come up, to step up to the front. And what the Bear Clan does, the members, is they stand between the opposing sides, right? They stand between the opposing sides to keep the peace. And they remind people to be respectful. And so yeah, so the bear has really big energy, really big energy. Bear. Does anybody in the chat have bear as a power animal or a totem? Because you might want to kind of tune into the energy in the picture, right? Because it could be that there's a specific message just for you. Just for you. All right. Oh, Stephanie's in the house. Stephanie is in the house. She says, please send the light of Star Nations to friends and family so they can grow with you. Star Nation social media manager. Yeah. There we go. Thank you, Stephanie. All right. So the West, medicine of the West. What we know about the West is that's where the sun sets, right? That's the end of the day for us two-leggeds, right? And we know that as the sun sets in the west, that's the connection between heaven and earth, between grandmother earth and grandfather sky, right? And we know that the west is also about emotions. We also know that when we cross over, when it's our turn to walk on and go back into spirit, is that we are heading west, and that's where we walk off the wheel. Okay, we go back into spirit. We know that our physical life here on this earth plane is that it's our spirit walk between the east and the west, right? It's the life lessons, our life experiences between learning how to balance, or remembering how to balance our head and our heart, our mental thoughts and our emotions, our brain and our heart. So here it is, the medicine of the West. Let's see what the author has to say about this, okay? All right. She says, the chaos of your outer world has left you feeling malnourished. The West card signifies a time for retreat, a journey within, to rest your body, mind, and spirit. Enter the silence where dreams are born, for healing to occur at the deepest level. Listen to the heartbeat of our great mother and feel the pulse of oneness that is the lifeblood of her existence. Find that quiet place within where you may view your dreams and nourish them before bringing them out into the light. So she's saying the West is also all about dreams. She says, pray for the guidance you need and be sure to thank the Spirit for the answers you receive. Within the meditative state of the West, we are able to connect with the dream source and replenish our own creativity. You know, we have talked about dreams at some length during these live stream shows over this past year, right? We talked about dreams and that there's many different kinds of dreams that we can have. There are dreams that are prophetic. There are dreams that help us to work through our emotions from our past day. There's dreams that those are those nightmares, you know, right? Oh, Jocelyn is saying that they see a bear on their property. Wow. You know, we live on the edge of town, so we hear about them, people seeing them, but we actually haven't seen one myself anyway, not here. Yeah, so dreams. And I remember one time we talked about daydreaming. I don't know if you guys remember that. And I don't remember which deck of cards it was. It could have been Sacred Path cards, could be. but even daydreaming, right? That there's a certain time that we're kind of in between. We're not fully in the physical presence, and we're not fully in the spirit presence. We're in between, the betwixt and the between, right? During those daydreams. And, for those that are in the live chat, if you could let me know, do you still daydream? Do you remember when we were kids and we'd be told, to stop daydreaming? Your head is always in the clouds. I still do. And it almost feels to me like time stops. The measurement of Earth time stops during that daydream. That's the way it feels anyway. Yeah. And sometimes I get the best ideas there. I do. Rochelle says, I daydream a lot. Love it. Yeah. And Jocelyn's saying yes. I get the best ideas. I do. Sometimes Paul rolls his eyes and he says, really? We're going to do that? For instance, this is the latest one. And I always say this, I was just rolling along, minding my own business, right? And I start thinking about the house, and I was thinking about the upstairs, and I need to put my studio back together at my house, right? It's still broken apart because I had put the studio, the makeshift studio, in my meditation room. But there's the bed that's still in there. It's all stripped down and everything, but it's not moved out of that room and put back into the guest bedroom. Because in the guest bedroom, we have two single beds, okay? And I was thinking, man, it would be nice if we didn't have to move that bed back and forth. And I thought, and I started daydreaming about what it would be like to have a Murphy bed in that room. Because I'd have to take everything out of the closet, which is filled with ceremony stuff. Some things I haven't used in a really long time, and others I use quite frequently, which is kind of hard to get to when there's bed in front of it. and so I was daydreaming about a Murphy bed, and I could see it. I could see how it could work and how pretty it would be when to be able to pull it out, and we'd still have some room in there for maybe books, or to make sure that we have some sort of lighting in there for reading and that kind of thing. So I could see it. I was daydreaming it, and I was telling Paul about it, and I took him upstairs, and I said, "Let's dream a little bit." And he goes, "Oh no, not that." And so I was telling him about it, and he says, "Well, yeah, it could really work in here." And so we're gonna start pulling together some information on it. But that really all started with a daydream, and even parts of this show were created through daydreaming. What it would be like, right? Yeah, and I think that my feeling is, anyway, about dreams is that it's a part of us that we don't have filters. We don't control them. Our mental mind doesn't control them. And so we can actually access parts of ourselves that is unfiltered in dreams, right? Yeah. And, and I'm sure, here's another question for you guys. How many of you had prophetic dreams? How many of you have had dreams that have realized on Earth in real time? Yeah. Yeah. Of course, I grew up in a family with my grandpa, my Misho, who, is one of the religious leaders in a religion called the Dream Drum. And so, we have a certain connection, certain belief around dreams and drums. But here, Spirit is asking us to take some time to retreat to go into the quiet, to go into the silence, and you know, maybe even to do a dream journal for a little while, right? To do the daydreaming. We're being asked kind of step out of the everyday kind of fray. And let me tell you, it's getting kind of nuts out there, I think. I don't listen to news, or shows that people call the news. I don't do that. I haven't in a really long time, but even more so now. My mom does, so I get a certain dose every day because I go in and out of her room, and the television's on, so I get to hear and see some of it. But it's not something that I do in my regular everyday life, right? And so it's getting kind of rough out there, and so Spirit is saying, give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. Retreat. Go within, get quiet, and use that time to get creative. Get creative through your dreams. And it's okay to daydream. It's okay. And here today is Sunday, and so most people, take Sunday as kind of a day of rest, right? Most people. And so maybe you have the opportunity, give yourself permission, is to grab your favorite beverage, to maybe go sit outside or go sit in your favorite chair and give yourself some time to get quiet. Maybe go take a nap, right? Do a little daydreaming. What is it that you would like to start laying the seeds for, right? To kind of start pulling together, what is it that you would like to have in your life? What do you want? Something that's more of something, or something brand new? Is to be able to take the time just to go within, get quiet, and get creative, right? Through your dreams. Now, for me, just even the word creativity is all about being close to the Creator, right? And that we are co-creators. And when we take some of that quiet time for ourselves, to give ourselves permission to do that, there is some recuperation in there. There is some time that's a little downtime, right? All right. And Rochelle said, I've had a few. Yeah, prophetic dreams. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's gotten to the point for me that I have to stop and ask, was that a dream, or did that already happen? Yeah. There's sometimes, that they say it's deja vu, right? When I'm standing there talking about something to Mom or Paul, or maybe having a conversation on the phone with somebody from the community here, and I feel like I've already had this conversation. I feel like we already did this. And then I realized, oh, maybe I dreamt it, or maybe this is the dream. Did you ever do that? That's a little, I mean, I've told Paul that a couple of times, and that one time he says, you kind of freaked me out because I didn't tell you that. That didn't even happen until after the telephone call. So, yeah. So sometimes, watching our dreams and doing that dream journal is very helpful. Yeah. Rochelle says, really, me too. I know. And when I first realized it, it was kind of disarming, right? It's like, oh, I didn't even talk about it with anybody. And then I realized that this is Spirit talking to me. This is Spirit communicating with me. They're already showing me this so that the experience I have isn't necessarily, it's not shocking, right? Because it's already happened. And I know that it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Yeah. All right. So, this author, what she does is she puts a prayer with every card. And so here's the prayer for the West. Okay. She says, Spirit powers of the West, guide me on my journey into the silence where I may feel the spirit of my dreams come to life. Help me to replenish my creativity so that I may move into a more balanced and harmonious state of mind. So, really, she's talking about balancing our head and our heart, right? And like I said, in our dreams, our mental mind isn't involved with our dreams. Our mental mind isn't trying to control, aspects of the dream. That is all completely our subconscious mind, our subconscious. And what is the subconscious? The subconscious is our inner child. That aspect of us is the inner child. Yeah. And our inner child has everything to do with our creativity. Everything. Mm-hmm. And our inner child is also the messenger between our high self, our soul self, and our conscious self, right? And so it's a part of our intuition. They're the messenger. When we have a question, right? When we have a question, or we're trying to find out some information, right? And so we say, well, we're gonna turn to spirit. We're turning to spirit, our spiritual team, right? And we're going to ask the question. It's that part of us, our inner child, is the relayer of that message, that question, and the reply. Especially when you're dowsing. That you have the inner child part of you that is the messenger. And so when we create time, earth time, to be in the quiet, to do this kind of recuperative kind of work, right? Intention, and to allow ourselves to daydream, to allow ourselves to take a nap. Um, yeah, we're making room. We're making room for that part of us. We'll call that the inner child work. Yeah. So I just had a thought. Thank you to my spiritual team for giving that one to me. All right, so you know how I always talk about that walk that we do from the east to the west, right? It's about remembering how to balance our head and our heart. It's also remembering how to balance out our conscious and our subconscious. It's about balancing out our adult self, our conscious self, and our inner child. Yeah. So that we have a balance of the two. Because when we're out of balance with the conscious adult, we're no fun. We take everything so seriously, and we live a lot of our life out of our head, our brain, right? And when our inner child is out of balance, yeah. Do you ever have a rant? Do you ever have a rant? That's what they call that for adults, ranting. When children do it, it's a tantrum. Do you ever have one of those? I know I have. Hmm. Right. And so, the inner child can also be out of balance. So when we're doing this walk from the east to the west, it really is about balancing out all aspects of ourselves. And so we can have the balance between the inner child and the outer adult, right? What would that be like? What would that be like? Yeah, I think it'd be kind of fun. That's what I'm thinking. All right, so here comes the second card. Second card, and we haven't had this one yet either. The second card, oops, you have to turn the page. My fingers don't want to work today. Typing was really hard today too. Okay, here we go. This is the rest and cleansing moon. The rest and cleansing moon goes from January 20th to February 18th. Rest and cleansing moon. It's the 17th stone in the creation of the medicine wheel. And that's an 8 in numerology. And that's the sign of infinity, right? Balance of giving and receiving. The key words to this card is balanced relationships, self-expression, and boundaries. Oh no, not that again. More boundaries. We talk a lot about boundaries here at Star Nations too, don't we? Yep. Boundaries. Boundaries are healthy. And the best boundaries are boundaries that you create out of love rather than fear. Look at the deer on here. Now that's, I think it's a deer. It could be an elk. And I was looking at the trees around it and how the branches kind of remind me of hands reaching, trying to touch, trying to grab. You know, and that deer is looking directly at us, isn't he? And the corner images is of a smaller deer standing in water with the moon behind them, full moon. So there's a lot of emotion around this card. A lot of emotion. Which is about the West, right? It's about the West. Albino deer. Yeah, I know, right? Right. It's white. Spirit. Some would say it's a ghost, but I've known them to be spirit animals in white. And cleansing too, right? Yeah, white purification, purity, the color white. Yeah, thanks for that, Jocelyn. Good insight. Thanks for sharing that. How do you guys feel about the branches? I'm calling them branches, but man, they certainly look like hands to me. Yeah. Jocelyn said sacred. Yes. Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of white animals showing themselves lately, don't you think? You know, whenever I run across one or somebody sends me a meme of one or a picture of one, I try to share it. And I usually share it on Nature Adventures page. It's where I usually share them. But you know that they say that we're in a time when we'll be seeing a lot more white animals. Hmm. You know, and the trees in this picture, they look big, don't they? They remind me of pine trees. Now, here's what the author has to say. She says, "You may find yourself being pulled in many different directions by those around you who need your help. Because you naturally put others first, this card serves as a reminder to maintain your personal boundaries. If you forgive others too easily, you set yourself up for being hurt. Be a doormat, and others will try to take advantage of your good nature. People will respect and admire you more if you are clear about how much you're willing to give." It says, take a breather from the serious approach towards life. Express yourself in positive, healthy ways that bring you joy. Spend time with children and creative activities. Love yourself enough to develop special relationships with people who reciprocate the love and support you so freely give. And you know, the second and third card always support the message of the first, right? So Spirit's asking us to be able to take some quiet time, retreat, right? To be able to do a little daydreaming, take a nap, do a dream, be creative with those dreams, that daydreaming. To be able to let go of some of the daily responsibilities, just even for a few moments, right? To be able to daydream, to relax, and go into the quiet. Because we get to recuperate there. It's a time where our inner child can come out and be a part of the balance in that, right? And so this second card is letting us know that yes, we have others who um, are asking for our assistance, yes, and it's okay to give assistance, but to have boundaries so that you have that time to take for yourself, for ourselves, to go into the quiet. And when we start, if you haven't done that, um, and you decide, okay, I'm going to give this a try, right? You really do have to set up your boundaries, because otherwise, as soon as you sit down, as soon as you just about to take that first drink of your tea or coffee or whatever, somebody's going to come over and they're going to ask you, do you know where this or that is? You know, do you think you could do this when you get done? Could you do this for me? Right? Yeah. And so maybe that's an opportunity for us to practice on setting healthy boundaries, right? And so to be able to say, you know what, from 2 o'clock to 2:30 or 2:15, I'm sitting down and this is my time. And I'm going to have a cup of tea and I am going to sit in the quiet. Or I'm going to go up and take a nap. I'll be back in 20 or 30 minutes, right? And then we'll talk. Now, you're not telling them no, and you're not telling them yes. What you are telling them is that right now, I'm off the clock, right? And when we get good at communicating, and we're right in the middle of Mercury retrograde, with the communication, we have better relationships, better relationships. Um, when we have problems communicating is when it gets kind of stormy and rocky, right? So it helps us to be able to express ourselves too. So this is all about supporting, getting support to be able to take that time, that retreat time, that quiet time, to go into the silence, right? And then sometimes those in our lives who, um, you know, they either don't sense the boundary or they don't care that there's a boundary, and they will test and they will push it and try to get over it, around it. It's like, but there's my stuff that's important to me, and I want you to do this, right? Yeah. Those are the people who challenge our boundaries. And so what do we do? How do we deal with that? How do you deal with it? Because you guys probably already have a way, right? And if you have something that works for you, please share it, because maybe there's somebody who's wondering, I'm sure, how do you do that? When especially family members, when they're so used to having full access to you, and that you never say no, wait, or not now, or um, and so you're constantly on the go for some other people, right? And that's not bad. There's no good or bad here. It's just about balance. It's about balance and allowing yourself time to go into the silence, even if it's just for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, right? Yeah. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? I think this is the first time we've ever talked about this piece in a year. you know, we've talked about boundaries, yes. We've talked about boundaries, but we haven't talked about how to use the boundaries to carve out that quiet time for yourself. And how do you manage the others who are um, reaching for you, you know, trying to get your attention. Yeah, that first sentence explaining the card was, you may find yourself being pulled in many different directions by those around you who need your help. Right? And so many times it's the people who we really, really love, right? It could be your children, your grandchildren, your significant other, you know. It's the people that we love many, many times. And so how do you communicate to them that this time during the day at a certain time is important for me to take, and I'm taking it, and I would like you to go over there and keep yourself busy some other way, right? Yeah. Yeah, excellent discussions. Oh, I know. And how many times have we ever had here on Star Nations have we discussed this in this way? Not many, not many. Because it is important for us as spiritual beings to have a break from the physical world, right? To give ourselves a timeout. Put yourself in timeout, right? I have to say, I've had to practice this. You guys all know how busy I am. And to be able to carve out that quiet time, right? Those moments. That's why I said, you grab your favorite beverage and go and sit someplace for 10 or 15 minutes. Right? I turn off my mom's monitor, right? And I grab a tea or something like that, and I go sit in the Four Seasons for just 10 or 15 minutes. It's downtime. It's quiet time. I give Georgie a treat. He's in it's called his place, and he's got his treat. Paul's at work. I turn down the volume on the telephone, and I'm in the quiet for 10. That is my meditation time these days, and it's been that way for a long time, about 4 years. About 4 years. And setting up those boundaries, right? Yeah. Yeah. And it's okay. It's all right. Because that boundary is really set out of love. It's set out of love not just for myself, but it's set out of love for all of those people who have come to rely on me for certain things. Because if I didn't get those 10 or 15 minutes of quiet time, I wouldn't be a very happy person. All right, so Rochelle's saying, spirits are communicating and you are receptive. Exactly. We need to make time for those kind of connections, right? Spirit to spirit communication. I remember back in the old days when I would have all kinds of time and I could do an hour meditation. That seems like a whole lifetime away. But at the time, I was doing massive, intentional healing work, massive, intentional readings and study groups and all kinds of stuff because I was on a mission. I was on a mission, and so those hour meditations really did bring through a lot of information. But I don't have that kind of time now to do that. But it's still important to have that quiet time. It really is, yeah. And for some people, maybe it's not sitting, because some people really need to move. If you're one of those people, then I would suggest going for that walk, right? By yourself. And if you do go with somebody else, let them know that this is my quiet time. Shush. All I need is 10 or 15 minutes, Right. Jocelyn saying quiet time is very refreshing, isn't it? It really is. It really is. I can remember back when I was a kid, my mom used to always say, I just need some time to gather my thoughts. I need some time to gather my thoughts. I think that's what she was doing. Is that she put herself in timeout, and we couldn't go she was in her bedroom and in my parents' bedroom and with the door closed. And we had to leave her alone until she came out. And it was only, 10 or 15 minutes. It was never, much longer than that. Yeah, and we were supposed to be quietly coloring or quietly doing something while she was doing that. And so, gathering her thoughts. Huh. All right. So, I forgot to read the prayer for this one. Got to turn the page. All right. So here's the prayer for this one. Great Spirit, help me to open myself to receiving love and support, to maintain healthy, loving, balanced relationships with others, Help me accept that I receive love because I am worthy of love. Yeah, this card does have a lot of emotion to it, though. Very good. All right, we got to pay attention to the time. We got one more card to do here. And that's this. Another card we haven't had yet. It's Clarity. Spirit Path of the East. It's a 32nd stone. Sorry. Excuse me. 32nd stone. That's a number 5. And 5 is all about transformation, change. It's about breakthrough, inner vision, and truth. Okay. All those feathers. And in the corner is the eagle. Looks like a golden eagle. Breakthrough, inner vision, and truth. It says a gentle breakthrough is occurring in your life, as if the clouds have shifted and the sunshine is streaming through. Something that has been eluding you suddenly becomes clearer. You begin to see how that past experience fits into the greater picture of your life. Now is not the time to waste energy on regret. Instead, just be careful that the murky waters have at last become clearer. The wisdom gained from experience strengthens your perception. You can look toward the future with quiet confidence. Trust your judgment in making decisions. Your inner vision has been restored through your acceptance of the truth at hand. A veil has been lifted, and you are now ready to let go of the things that have kept you from living out your truth. Wow. That's pretty profound, huh? A gentle breakthrough. It says, Creator, I thank you for the clarity that is returning to my life. Because of this recent breakthrough, I can feel my trust and confidence growing. I'm ready now to embrace this newfound truth. Okay, so here it is, Spirit of the East, Spirit Path of the East, about clarity. And earlier I mentioned, about the life path, for our physical life on the medicine wheel, goes from the east to the west. And so within these cards, we have that path. They're showing us the path, right? That we have the path between the east and the west. And they're showing us that when we take the time to be quiet, to go into the quiet, to dream the dreams, right? But in order to do that, we do have to set some boundaries. Boundaries out of love that really do help our relationships. And if we do these things, that we get to have this, right? We get to have the balance between the east and the west, between our head and our hearts. That it is a breakthrough. That when we do take that time, that quiet time, we can sense a truth. We use our inner vision. Our inner child is right there to be able to deliver the messages. in our quiet time. That through our quiet time, it's more than a probability that we're going to have a gentle breakthrough. Something's going to become so much clearer. And you're going to go, oh my God, that's how those things went together. Or that's why that happened. Or this is how this can go together, right? It almost feels like it's part of that integration time. But I really do believe that Spirit is showing us today is the path to that balance. We need the quiet time. We need the quiet time so that we can understand those breakthroughs, right? Yeah, it's a good one. So for those that are technically adept, I'm going to take my name down and you can do a screenshot of these cards, okay? And that way you can take some time with them, right? There we go. There. It's a good one. It feels like a culmination, doesn't it? Yeah, it's so refreshing. Got that one. Michelle saying thank you, and Jocelyn is saying good one. I think so. I do. I think so. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it when Spirit shows, literally they're showing us the path. It depends on whether or not we're going to take it, because we still have that choice, right? Yeah, let me know if you choose, what you choose to do with it. So if it resonated with you, right? If it resonated with you, you're going to choose maybe to give it a try and see. Or perhaps you're already doing this, but you're going to be doing it with much more consciousness, right? Yeah. So if it resonated with you, yay. And now just watch, see how the energy of today unfolds around you and where this information is helpful, right? And if it didn't resonate, don't worry. It's okay. It's all right. There's always tomorrow's cards. Like I always say, maybe you're the messenger. Maybe you know somebody who would be interested in the information and you can just share the recorded show with them and then you're done, right? Yeah. So very quickly, I am going to share with you what's coming up this week for live stream shows for you guys. We got a lot of good ones coming up. All right, so Polly Joe on Tuesday the 23rd. She's going to be talking about natural remedies to assist our ever-changing energy system. And she's going to tell a little bit more about how she channels her remedies, how her team helps her to bring forth those remedies with essential oils. So that's going to be a good one. All right. And then that's on Tuesday at noon Eastern time. And then Tuesday evening is my weekly show, Communications from Home. And at 7 p.m. East, that's Central Time, that's 8 p.m. Eastern. The title of it is Echo of the Drum. And we're going to be talking about the beat of the drum and how that beat actually connects us at a very deep level, okay? And we're going to be talking about that. Actually, that's going to help us get prepared for the drum making workshop coming up in August. Yep. And then on Thursday, we have, oops, I almost forgot Wednesday. Wednesday is Soul Connections. July 24th, Soul Connections at 7 p.m. That's a healing meditation and individual card draw with Polly Jo LeBay. And then Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time is Angel Therapy with Maureen Mann. And Maureen is going to be talking about navigating endings and new beginnings. Yep. Angelic insight in how to gracefully approach natural endings and beginnings in our lives. She also does card draws. So if you're interested in that, that's at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time is Living in Two Worlds with co-hosts Orchard and Carl Franklin and myself. And the title subject is You and Your Soul. And so we're going to be talking about the nature and life of the soul and the world it lives in, right? So understanding our role and what our soul plays in our life and connecting with it. That's going to be a pretty deep topic. I hope you guys can join us 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday evening. Those are just a few things that are happening here at Star Nations. We have so much going on. We're adding to it. We're adding more to it, you know. We are going to start online classes in October. I almost said September. In October, we're going to be holding them on Zoom, and so we'll be doing a little chat about that. I think the first class is going to be about sacred sound. And we'll give you a little bit more information about that as soon as we can. Julie Shumway and I are working on it, so watch for the promos. And I'm probably going to do a live stream show about those classes and what that's going to be all about. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, thank you so much for being with me today on a Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, wherever you're at around Grandmother Earth. Enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll see you back here tomorrow, Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for the Spiritual Roundtable. Okay. Bama Mina, that means in Potawatomi, until we see each other again. Love you guys. And let's see. I was going to do something fancy here, and now I don't remember what it was. Oh, yeah. Okay. Bama Mina. We'll see you guys tomorrow.